from Munich Re, a visionary in the renewable field.
So, how can we manage the increasing risks of climate change? Management certainly has to address both mitigation and adaptation. Mitigation in the way that we reduce the emissions of greenhouse gases, and as you all know, we need to have a peak in these emissions at least until 2020, and on a global level we have to reduce the emissions by at least 50% on a global level, which means for the industrialized countries 80 to 95% decreases. CO2 definitely is the most important greenhouse gas, not the only one, but the most important. And as CO2 is emitted whenever we burn fossil fuels, the key to climate protection definitely is a quick switch to renewable energies. On the adaptation side, we have to adapt because there are unavoidable risks. We cannot stop. There is no way to stop global warming in this century anymore. So we have to adapt. We have to increase the resilience towards weather extremes. For example, improve flood protection. We shouldn't allow new settlements on already known floodplains. We need better building standards, and for the unpreventable risks, we need proper insurance solutions. And we definitely have to support the developing countries which are suffering most and don't have the capacity to adapt to these changes. What is Munich Re doing? How do we manage the risk of global warming? We base our risk management on 3 pillars. The first one is our core business, in which we increasingly consider the changed frequencies and intensities in our underwriting, in our risk models, especially for the tropical cyclones, for flooding caused by these more intense precipitation events. The second pillar is our asset management, in which we integrate sustainability criteria into our investment strategies. And the third pillar is the business opportunity pillar, where we see definitely new business chances, new markets, new products on the pathway to a low carbon and hazard adaptive economy. I will show you a few examples of what we do there. These are some climate change related products already out in the insurance market. So there is a wide range of insurance for renewable energy, covering all the risks of the whole life cycle of these renewable energies, starting from delay or damage during fabrication, transport, construction, operational stages of renewable energies, up to the risk of the volatility, which is delivery guarantee insurance for lack of wind, lack of sun, or even insurance covers against premature aging of photovoltaic cells. There is carbon credit insurance covering risks related to CDM projects, for example. There is car insurance giving incentives to drive less or to drive cleaner cars. There is green building insurance giving discounts for green buildings, for example, or replacing a building after damage by a more energy efficient building. And this is covered by this insurance policy. And also there are insurance covers for energy efficiency projects, which protects the owner of such a project against its failure. Just one example of one of our latest products, which we have developed with a US company producing the real innovative PV cells, the concentrator photovoltaic systems. And we have developed these products to provide a warranty for 25 years for the efficiency of these cells. So Focus, the company selling these cells, can give this warranty to the clients. And this is good for the investors because they have a security. If the cells will fail after 10, 15 years or will become less efficient, then they get the money from this insurance cover. In the framework of adaptation, there is certainly natural catastrophe insurance, which becomes more important as the intensity frequency increases, more public-private partnerships, like, for example, what we are doing, reinsuring a pool in the Caribbean, or we have Munich Climate Insurance Initiative addressing the risk of developing countries. There's an increasing market for microinsurance products. Just lately, we have developed such a product in the Philippines, insuring the portfolios of agricultural cooperatives there in the Philippines, weather products and engineering insurance for protective structures which we will need more and more, like dikes, causeways, or desalination plants and irrigation systems. Munich Re has initiated the Munich Climate Insurance Initiative. The objectives is under the roof of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, under the roof of the World Climate negotiations, we want to implement risk management systems for the developing countries. And we have come a long way and have been quite successful because parts of our proposals are already in the negotiation text in Cancun. Loss and damage, a new program has been decided, which will go on now for the next 2 years, and MCRI is a partner in this. And Munich Re, as you know, has initiated, together with the Desertec Foundation, the world's largest renewable energy project, which is the Desertec project, which means large renewable energy plants in Northern Africa. It started in July 2009. Some of our partners are here. And in just a few months later, a company has been founded, the DRI company, with Paul von Sonn being the CEO, Professor Klaus Töpfer as an ambassador for this. And the goal is now for the next 2 years until the end of 2012 to develop implementable roadmap to green energy generation in the deserts of North Africa. By 2020, the goal is to have 20 gigawatts of solar energy plants capacity installed, and by 2050, 100 gigawatts. The number of shareholders has increased in the meantime. Now it's 20 shareholders. Here you see all the shareholders supporting this and coordinating and steering the activities. And besides the shareholders, there are associated partners also supporting the Desertec project, and there are already 32 of them. Interestingly, also scientific organizations like Max Planck Gesellschaft, some car manufacturer like Audi being part of that. So it's a wide scope of companies having interest in being part of that. And there is increasing support from the political side. At the first conference, the Desertec conference in Barcelona, Günther Oettinger has confirmed his support, and he has said that he will promote the creation of a harmonized European energy market, both to improve competition but also allow clean energy imports from North Africa. So the basic steps for corporate climate risk management is first to detect the quantification of business and quantify the business-specific climate risks. What you see in green is what Munich Re has done always in these respects. The screening of already effective or expected regulatory measures with respect to the influence of the business, implementing risk controls, which is very important. Then certainly also to reduce the carbon footprint. Munich Re has become carbon neutral at its Munich Re headquarters by the end of 2009 already. And to detect and realize also the new business opportunities, which we believe are plenty in the field of climate change mitigation and adaptation, and also to motivate and the staff and support climate risk management strategy. My last slide is something different approach to manage the risk if you just deny it, if you just ignore it. And this has been done lately. 15th February, there has been member of the House of Representatives in Montana bringing in this bill. Fortunately, he failed. But what he wanted to do is to hand in this bill to say the legislature finds global warming is beneficial to the welfare and business climate of Montana. Reasonable amounts of carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere have no verifiable impacts on the environment, and global warming is a natural occurrence, and human activity has not accelerated. This is total ignorance of the problem and certainly not the right way to deal with the problem. Thank you very much.
Do we have a question for Peter from the audience? Otherwise, it was a dense presentation. I enjoyed it very much, and
Thank
there's
you.
so much to learn.
You're
You get
welcome.
now your speaker present.
Thank you.